Good morning, Voyagers of the Infinite Void. You've caught the stray broadcast of 88.8 WGRIF, the talk radio YouTube channel stitched together from starlight, static, and the hum of galaxies colliding. I am Griff, your captain and stowaway on the stellar frequency, piloting a ship made of sound waves through nebula of noise. I always like to open with morning because I am already awake at 4 a.m., long before the sun rises over any of these imagined worlds. That's when the signal is the clearest, when the universe still feels half asleep, and every whisper echoes louder. If you're a first-time traveler, welcome aboard the Drifting Ark. If you've tuned in before, you already know you are the gravity that keeps this lonely signal from spinning into the black hole. Today's broadcast, the Bionicle Inika commercial. You know, the one that had lightning in the background, glowing masks, stormy skies, and over it all, the all-American rejects blasting Move Along. Man, even just saying that out loud makes me want to grab my old iPod shuffle and hit repeat. That wasn't just a commercial. This wasn't just plastic toys. This was Lego kicking down the door of MTV and saying, yeah, we belong here too. And it was no exaggeration, ladies and gentlemen. Just awesome. 2006. Let me paint this for you. Emo and pop punk aren't just music, they're a way of life. Hot Topic smells like incense and rubber bracelets. MySpace is where you live, and every kid's got bangs in their face, pretending that they're in a band. And Lego, they're trying to figure out how to keep kids from outgrowing bricks. So instead of another goofy toy jingle, they license a track that's on actual radio rotation. Move Along wasn't just some underground cut, it was climbing the charts, blasting in malls, a soundtrack for every angsty kid trying to survive middle school. So what does Lego do? They say, fine, let's meet them there. Let's put their music in our world. And that move was awesome. You know that chorus. You probably still know every word. When all you gotta keep is strong. Move along, move along. Tell me you're not humming it right now. Sorry, I didn't really sing that lyric there, ladies and gentlemen. And I am not I am not a singer. Now imagine you're a 12-year-old watching Toa Inika. These elemental warriors charging through storms, lightning flashing, swords clashing, all in sync with your favorite band. Suddenly, these toys aren't toys anymore. They're part of your soundtrack. That's the trick. The music wasn't an add-on. It made you feel like Bionicle belonged in the same emotional space as your iPod playlist. And for a kid on the cusp of growing up, that was awesome. Forget those cheesy announcers. Forget kids on carpets showing you how the arms move. No, this commercial looked like an MTV bumper. Dark skies, glowing eyes, weapons swinging in slow motion. It had the confidence of a band promo, the grit of a superhero trailer. And here is the kicker. It was shot seriously. No wink, no laugh track, no goofy sound effects. Just raw power. If you didn't know it was for toys, you might have thought it was a trailer from some new animated series. That was the magic. Lego wasn't just selling you playtime, they were selling you an aesthetic. They were saying, yeah, your toys can be as cool as your music videos. And that's awesome. And that's why it mattered, ladies and gentlemen, because let's be real, around 11 or 12, you start aging out of toys. You trade those action figures for a phone, the Lego sets for a hoodie with thumb holes in the sleeves. But this commercial said, you know what, wait, maybe you don't have to choose. That's the culture cheat code. Lego blending toys with music, making them part of the same vibe. You could walk into school the next day and talk about Bionicle without feeling like a baby. Because, hey, it was rocking out to the same band you heard on the radio. And you know what? People still talk about it. Jump on YouTube, scroll through the comments, and you'll see stuff like, "This commercial made me feel like I could fight alongside the great Toa Inika." Or, "This was my first taste of All American Rejects." That's not just toy talk, that's culture talk. That's legacy sealed in 30 seconds of plastic heroes and a rock anthem. The Nika Move Along ad didn't just sell toys, it carved out a moment where emo, pop punk, and Lego fused together into something unforgettable. And that's why it was, and still is, awesome. So there you have it, the breakdown of why the Bionicle Inika Move Along commercial was awesome. It wasn't a jingle, it wasn't a sales pitch, it was a time capsule, a vibe, a music video disguised as advertising. Well, folks, I think it's time to wrap up this broadcast. In case I don't catch you again, good morning, good night, and absolutely everything in between. This is Griff signing off from 88.8 WGRIF.